No. Come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You got it.
And back on again. Ow, 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 ow. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
Ooh, the gym.
Old stomping grounds. Hank Patterson, fly fishing guide.
Riley Smith, tight end.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Hey, you wouldn't happen to be the kicker?
No, tight end.
Again, thank you. I'm looking for a kicker for Lithia Ford's fall kickoff sale. But you're not the kicker.
No.
Yeah. Nah, the kicker's probably taller and in a lot better shape. So, okay. What position do you play?
Tight end.
Squats. Yeah. Try it sometime.
RowPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, is going all in this season with an all-star lineup. First up, he led the Broncos to 3 conference championships and 10 20-win seasons. It's Coach Leon Rice. Next, he's the founder and CEO of RowPaint.com. He played a little basketball in high school on the driveway with his mom. It's Andy Rowe.
Oh, no. Want to just paint my house?
Now that I can do. When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust rowpaint.com to get that job done right.
Welcome to the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News, as we get you set for the latest news, insight, and analysis as game time approaches. The BNN pregame show is presented by Lithia Ford of Boise. Check out lithiafordboise.com to view the full inventory of vehicles, or check them out at 8853 West Fairview in Boise. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Now, let's head out and join BJ Rains for the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News.
Well, greetings, Boise State fans, and welcome to Clune Arena at the Air Force Academy. A little snow earlier today, cold outside, but we have made it inside the arena. We'll see how many fans make it in. They are allowed in after a wildfire threat nap, but they're allowing fans in. They're just starting to make their way in. Boise State going with the black uniforms tonight as they look to finish off this road trip 2-0 and remain in first place in the Mountain West Conference. Bring it courtside here. We got our man Abe Jackson. We'll be hearing you in about 25 minutes over on 670 KBOI. You and Bob Beeler. 16 seasons together, Abe Jackson and Bob Beeler, and you'll be calling how many games you called here at Clune Arena?
Ever since we've been in the Mountain West.
Well, there you go.
Unless it was one of those years where we didn't come here, like kind of like UNLV this year, but probably been here, I would say 12 to 14 times.
Well, Boise State warming up on the court again. The Broncos 19-8, tied for first place. Abe 10-4 in conference play, and taking on an Air Force team that's had a tough go for most of the season, but a couple of really surprising wins.
Yeah, really surprising wins. There's not a lot of teams that are struggling like they are in the country, but their only wins have come on the road, a domination of by 30 or so against UNLV, and then pulling out a win at the pit against New Mexico. 1 point. Botrytis hit a three-pointer with 7 seconds left in the pit in front of 15,000 people for Air Force to get their second conference win. So it just goes to show you, I mean, the cliche is what? Hey, anybody can beat anybody on a certain given night. And sometimes you look at teams and you're like, yeah, okay, maybe not. Hey, I think this might have, not that they weren't focused, but anytime you could use anything to motivate a team, like look, they went into the pit, one of the hardest places in the country against a team that's been in the top 25 throughout the season. and this Air Force team got a win.
And we talked about it before the Wyoming game that it was going to help them in that game, but the team they saw that won is the team they're playing tonight, obviously. So, again, they're 2-12. They're having a tough go in conference play, 9-17 overall, but they got a couple players that can light it up and get hot, and we saw that back in Boise. I know the final score ended up being 94-56, but Air Force started 7 of 11 from 3. They were actually winning that game 27-25, and then Boise State obviously went crazy. Tyson Degenhardt had 20 points in the first half, but for 15 of the 40-minute game, Air Force was those actually beating them.
Yeah, and any team has the ability to get hot, and Mills knocked down 5 threes. I think 4 of those were in the first half. Petritis for Air Force is a really good rebounder. He's a guy that had a triple-double against UNLV when they beat them in Las Vegas. So it's a team that has some talent on it, but this Boise State team, for whatever reason, is, I would say, the best in the country at 5 minutes to go in the first half. They have just gone on tears. They went on a 16-0 run against Air Force to go up 14 at half. I don't know what the run was at Wyoming, but it was about a 3-point game.
19-6.
19-6 to close out. And I think it was a 3-point game or tied with 4:45 left.
Yeah.
And Bob and I kind of chatted about, they're pretty good at the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they just take off. They've had some games like that too, some other games. So this Boise State team handled Air Force, but I don't think that anything in anyone's head is thinking that it's going to be the same type of game, a 38-point blowout.
But, I mean, how big is that, though, to have that ability where a team can hang around with you, but when you need to put that foot down, going into the locker room up 15 is a lot different than going into the locker room up 5.
Yeah, there's something to be said about a team that when you need something, it can get you. And earlier in the season, I don't know if this was that type of team. But now, the last 6-7 games, if they need a stop, I feel like they're going to get it. If they're going to make free throws to win, I think they're going to get it. If they want to get someone an open 3, I feel like they're going to get a great look. So this is a team, they're playing very confident. As someone watching the game, I'm confident in them as well. And they've had some guys that have just had some amazing games in these last 6 ones.
All right, let's talk about Boise State, though, because clearly if Boise State does what they need to do, take care of their own business, play up to their level, this should be a game Boise State should be able to win. And you look at some of the individual guys, Roddy Anderson, I know a guy you guys are going to talk about on your pregame show as well. I wrote about him, and folks can read that at BroncoNationNews.com. But his resurgence really the last several games has coincided with Boise State's offense really going to the next level. Boise State, since the loss to Utah State, the 5th best offense in the country, according to BartTorvik.com during this 3-game winning streak. And Roddy Anderson deserves a lot of the credit for that.
He does. And he's one of the guys that really needed to find out how to play in this system. He was always, probably his whole high school career, his first year in college at San Diego, they asked him to score. You need to create, you need to score, you need to knock them open shots. That's not what this Boise State team needed, and you can really see his progression from November when the Broncos played in that Florida tournament until these last 3 or 4 games. He has just looked like a point guard that this team needs, and that helps to go a long way. He takes care of the ball. He's shooting about 46% in these last 3 games, so he's giving you some points, and he's also just, I think, playing a little more in control as well.
And I mentioned Tyson Degenhardt. He's becoming a regular of me asking questions about him, but another 20-plus point game. He had 29 the last time these guys played Air Force. Is this a good matchup for him?
It is a good matchup. I think maybe 1 or 2 teams in the league, I would say that Tyson has the advantage, talent and strength in the post. And so he's going to have it again here tonight. And it's either the last 6 or 7 games, Tyson's averaging 22 points and shooting like 62% from the field. So he has really started to become that player that people thought he was going to be, even maybe more so. If you had told me a 6-game stretch, he'd be averaging 22 before the season started, like, maybe 15 to 16 a game, but he's just dominating the glass, inside, and he's finishing so well at the hoop.
The bench as well has continued to play well. 3rd straight game where they score in double figures. They're at 50-plus points combined for the last 3 games. And Jace Whiting, I know, has been battling sickness, but has hit some big shots of late. Cam Martin continues to come in and do some things. Keenan Meadow as well. And, again, there were games, I said it last game, but there were games earlier this year where the bench didn't even score. Now you got 9 guys you feel really good about putting in there. And, again, at elevation tonight, everyone talks about Wyoming. It's only 139 feet less in this arena because you're coming up the academy.
Yeah.
This is over 7,000 feet as well. It's really almost the same, and it seems like they make a much bigger deal about Wyoming, but you would expect the bench going to be relied on big again tonight.
Yeah, I think tonight and the rest of the season. I mean, if you can stay healthy and refreshed toward the end of the season, you're going to have an advantage when it comes to tournament time, whether it's your conference or the NCAA tournament. And part of being refreshed is not riding your starters 36, 38 minutes. If you can keep your starters in the low 30s and get some good bench production where you get 12 to 15 points from them, that's going to go a really long way. They played fantastic against Wyoming. Keene got in the game, and in about the first 30 seconds had 2 nice assists to go with some buckets. Jace Whiting, I think, is playing his best basketball of the season, knocking down shots, hitting little floaters, taking care of the ball. I think everybody on this team is clicking in how the coaches want, in what they want to do to help this team. I think everyone is embracing their roles.
Couple more quick things for Abe Jackson. You'll hear him in about 20 minutes with Bob Beeler coming up, 670 KBOI on the radio side. They'll have their pregame show at 6:30, game broadcast at 7. Abe, this arena, Clune Arena, reminds me in terms of what the crowd's going to be in the atmosphere and stuff, a little like San Jose, but there wasn't a huge crowd of Wyoming. There was a little bit of an atmosphere, but what are the challenges of coming in here? Because obviously it's a unique arena and not going to be a very big crowd tonight.
No, and Boise State has been kind of Jekyll and Hyde in this building. Sometimes they've come in, I think they hit 18, 19 threes one time back when Nick Duncan was playing. And then I remember they got beat pretty handily by an Air Force team that wasn't as good as
Leon
they were.
Rice got ejected here one time.
In the first half. So, I mean, it's not an odd place to play. Like the setup, I think it's a great looking arena. If they could pack this, it would be a very nice basketball environment. But it's just one of those things that, for whatever reason, kind of opposite of Laramie, the Broncos have been up and down in this arena, and I think some of it has to do maybe some elevation, also the style that Air Force plays. If you're not having a great night, that style can just keep grinding you down.
And that style defensively, Boise State only gave up, I think, 1 back cut the entire game, and Omar Stanley blocked the shot. What makes the Air Force offense so tough to defend?
Well, it's that you're not only looking at your ball and you're also looking at your man, but the man that you're guarding doesn't always do what you're expecting them to do. Like every other team, they run up and they're running up to set a screen, say, okay, I'm ready to guard the screen, but then boom, they cut off of that. And if you don't think that's coming, or if you're just not aware, it's going to be a wide open layup. So this game, more than any game, you have to know where the ball is, but then also know where your man is out of the other side of your eye, and maybe adjust your floor position a little bit to take away those backdoor cuts, maybe allow more passes around the three-point line just to guard against going to the rim.
These last 3 games, Boise State has done what they needed to do, beat teams at the bottom of the standings and beat them handedly.
Yes.
One more game tonight, and it would kind of be the perfect 4-game stretch here, but just what's it say about this team? We see a team like New Mexico lose at home. We see some of that to this point. That hasn't happened.
No, and I think some of it has to do with the bench. I think some of it has to do with everyone really embracing their roles and not just saying like, okay, yes, I understand what you want me to do, but actually executing those things when they get out on the court. And your studs are showing up. I mean, Max is shooting a heck of a percentage in the last 6 games. Tyson's averaging 22 points. Buzo's doing what he does. Omar Stanley's giving you almost a double-double, it seems like, every single night. So your studs are playing, and then also your role players and your benches are playing some of their best basketball. Boise State could be the best playing team in the conference right now.
And they win this game. They're tied for first with a couple of big-time home games. It could be a fun atmosphere on Saturday.
I think Saturday and then Tuesday, even though it's a late start on Tuesday, I think it's going to be a packed house. And you're going to see some great basketball, and you never know. I mean, this could be games for the championship when all is said and done.
Final thing, Abe, just your keys for a Boise State win tonight.
You got to guard the back doors. I mean, that's really what they're predicated on. And then also defensive rebounding. It's hard to play defense against a team that runs it to under 5 every single time. But if you give up an offensive board to them, then you got to be in a stance for another 20 seconds, and chances are something bad's going to happen. So guard that back door and defensive rebound.
Abe, appreciate it as always. About 15 minutes so folks can tune over and listen to Abe and Bob. It's another Mountain West Network game. So sync up your TV, turn down the sound. You don't want to hear the Air Force announcers. Turn down the sound. Listen to Bob and Abe, 670 KBOI, coming up in about 15 minutes. And it's going to be a great call as always. Abe, appreciate your time, man.
All right.
We're going to take a quick, I won't leave you hanging there. Going to take a quick 90-second timeout. We'll continue warm-ups. We'll hear from Leon Rice. Going to give you a tour of Clune Arena as well. This place is pretty cool with the hockey arena back here. We got a ton still to get to on the Lithia Ford Boise pregame show. Back in 90 seconds here on Bronco Nation News. All Bronco Nation News broadcasts come from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of premix premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Spirits, perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Our title sponsor is rowpaint.com. For all your commercial, industrial, residential painting needs, check out rowpaint.com. Don't forget about their concrete coatings. Transform that ugly concrete slab on your back patio in your garage in just one day. Contact rowpaint.com for a free estimate today. The official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, and our title sponsor at Bronco Nation News is rowpaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union's been helping members achieve financial success for more than 80 years. There's an ICCU branch on almost every corner, but the closest is in your pocket with free eBranch mobile and online banking. See why more than 500,000 members love ICCU and join 1 in 4 Idahoans by making the switch today at ICCU.com. Since 1984, Ridley's Family Markets has prided itself on being a hometown food and drug store that employed value members of the local community. Ridley's Family Markets has 13 locations in the state of Idaho and many more in the surrounding states. Download the new Ridley's app to your smartphone, get savings up to 40% off at the checkout line, and find a location near you at shopridleys.com. Former Bronco Matt Bauscher is once again the number 1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. No home is too big or too small for Matt and his team. Let them fulfill all your real estate needs at BauscherRealEstate.com. All right, look who I found. They let anybody in the building here, apparently. Joel York, Blue Collar Club. You're living down in the area, coming to the game here, and you were heckling me enough. I said, let's throw you on the air for a minute, man. What do you're here, man. You got the retro Najee Smith jersey on.
Yeah,
welcome, man.
Appreciate it. I'm really excited for the flyby that's happening. I'm hoping that, it opens up tonight because otherwise I'm not going to be able to see it. But, excited for, the guys are on a tear, and I expect to see another big W tonight.
You took Abe and Bob and I out to a really nice steakhouse the other night. We had a good time, and you've been a gracious host here, and appreciate you for that. But what do you make of the game tonight, man?
Well, I mean, Air Force is not playing as well at home as they do on the road. The weather is suboptimal along with the threat of a fire, so the crowd is definitely not going to be into it. So, if there's one thing that Air Force has, it's fans all over the world, but not in Colorado Springs.
And we're going to be probably seeing you right behind the bench. You're going to be getting some TV time tonight, right?
Yeah, I mean, World Wide Web, so that's very excited.
Tell us about the Blue Collar Club and what you guys got going on. I know you've been getting some record fundraising, and you're having a really good year.
So, we this is our 3rd year in full activity. We've raised, as of January, over $100,000 since inception. We're sitting around $28,000 this year alone. Looking forward to senior night this coming March for the men and the women. So that's where you can kind of pledge a certain amount based on somebody's score or number, things like that. Usually last year we raised $2,000 in a night doing that.
Wow.
So that was really fun. And then we got Blue Collar Club weekend at the end of March where we're doing women's tennis, men's tennis, softball, and we're tailgating beach volleyball, which should be really fun.
What weekend is that?
That's week 28th.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you said over $100,000, man.
Correct.
And it's crazy because it's all kind of grassroots, started from the bottom, and a lot of it is literally guys giving $5, $10 here and there, but it all adds up, doesn't it?
It certainly does. We're up over 200 members now, and loud and proud, every last one of them. We've done a lot with Derek and Jordan Morales with Section 12, and it's kind of our home base at basketball, and then we've got our own. It is the Prince of Petty, Hunter. That's correct, all day long. So yeah, we've got another tailgate spot next year for football, and it's going to be an awesome year again. And obviously, with today's announcement, we're all psyched about that. And
what happened today?
I guess some old guy showed up and they just let him in the building.
Oh, that's right.
It's pretty good. So old Dirk's going to be.
How can folks donate or get involved or get more information?
Thank you. BlueCollarClub.org is our website, and then you can just go up there in the top right corner. There's a join button, and we'd love to have you. All the money goes to Boise State. I don't touch a nickel of it, thank God. And it's all tax deductible and goes right to them.
And I know you're heading down to Vegas as well, right?
That's
going to be down there for the conference tournament. Going to be
I'll be at your pool
out there at the pool party. So I don't know.
Sun's out, guns out.
Seeing Joel in a Speedo, what could be better than that?
Some people have dreams. Some people have nightmares. It's all the same.
Hey, man, enjoy the game. Don't get kicked out.
No, absolutely
Have some fun behind the bench, though. We appreciate it. And there's RJ Keen's dad over there in the light blue shirt. I just saw him over there. But hey, man, appreciate you stopping by. Thanks again for the hospitality. And
thanks for the coverage.
Brent Chapman just said, "I'll pledge $10 tonight for every 3 mate."
Oh, right on.
There you go. We got a little telethon going here. We should maybe get that going for senior night.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Appreciate that, Brent. Thanks a lot, man.
Appreciate it. Thanks for the coverage.
There he is. No problem. There he is. Joel York, Blue Collar Club. Appreciate him for stopping by. And again, the Broncos on the court getting some warm-ups in for tonight's game. Boise State at Air Force. And again, Bronco Nation News. We are the only local media outlet that made the trip tonight, giving you live video here of the warm-up. So if you're able to help us out with a subscription, we'd love to have you. We're the first to report the Dirt Cutter news today as well. BNN 50 deal is the coupon code. Takes $20 off your first year, and you get $50 for 365 days of coverage. Help support our travel efforts and things like that. We'd love to have you. at BroncoNationNews.com. Again, Broncos 19-8 on the season, looking for a 20th win for yet another season, trying to get to 11 wins in conference and stay even in the standings with Utah State. Air Force 9-17 on the season. They're only 2-12 in conference play, but they are coming off a big win against New Mexico down at the pit over the weekend. So, again, Boise State's team, they were watching that game on the bus on the way to the Wyoming game, and they certainly know that Air Force is capable of stepping up and beating anybody on any given night. So you see the Broncos warming up here, getting some shots in. Max Rice, Chibuzo Abo, he's back there in the corner. There's a three from Abo, rims off, but need to play a solid D. I think the defense is going to win this game tonight. As I mentioned, the first time they played Air Force, fell behind 27-25. They were able to end the first half on a very strong run and then ended up pulling away in the second half. So I think the defense is going to be big tonight for Boise State. Don't let Air Force get hot and hit some threes and get some confidence. That's certainly going to be a big key to tonight's game, is trying to limit Air Force, those backdoor cuts they like to do. They either try to backdoor you on a layup or they take a three pretty much every time. So it's going to be key for Boise State tonight. Play strong defense like they did the last time. And again, you already beat this team by 38 points, so you got to be feeling pretty good. But obviously, you start 0-0. You don't start with a 38-point lead tonight. And again, one more game tonight. Boise State has been so impressive during this three-game road trip, these 3 games, 2 home games, 1 on the road, this 3-game trip through the bottom of the standings in the conference. They've done what they needed to do and more. They've improved 19 spots in the net rankings the last couple of weeks. They're moving up. They're 31, a season high in the net today, and they're in prime position here to head home on Saturday for 2 huge home games. First place on the line, NCAA tournament, locking that in on the line. It's going to be a lot of excitement here moving forward. A lot of excitement moving forward for Boise State and the Broncos and what they have going on. But it all comes down to trying to win this game tonight and staying on track. Kareem, you should have your gift card. If you didn't get it yet, we'll let you know. Appreciate that. I believe Jaden Finch is sending that to you, so we'll check on that. Sam Windsor just found out about Dirk Cutter. Where you been all day? Reading some more comments here. Oh, we got another guy. Kurt's matching Brent as well for the three-point there. That's nice, you guys. Appreciate that. We're going to hear from Leon Rice in a few minutes. We're also going to do a quick tour of Clune Arena. This is one of the coolest venues in all of sports. It's got a hockey rink, track and field, indoor arena, and a basketball arena all under the same roof. And we're going to show you a little bit of that here coming up. Greg asking about Kobe Young. He did play some minutes, had a nice game there last time they played Air Force. They're going to need the bench tonight. They're certainly going to need the bench based on what we saw the last couple of games. And again, Clune Arena is over 7,000 feet, so it's not a big difference from Wyoming. The elevation is real here. My sore calves would confirm that to you. So I did a stairs workout in Laramie, and 3 days later, I'm still sore. Shows you how out of shape I am. But it's no joke here, the elevation. And again, Boise State probably will need the bench, and that's probably a good thing based on how well the bench has played of late. The bench has certainly played well, and I think that's a reason to be excited for this game with folks like Jace Whiting and some of these guys hitting shots and playing well. I think that they're going to go down the bench a little bit, and there you go. Just got the ball out. Should I let it fly? Should I let it fly here, folks? What do you think? I should get a shot after that. Come on. I was all ready for that, and they messed up my camera on the court, so we're going to have to fix that here real quick. But how about that? You always got to be on a swivel here. You always got to be ready, and apologize for that. I'm not sure who that was that shot that, but I was ready to go. How about that? The Broncos are leaving the court, so let's do a quick tour of Clune Arena. This place is pretty cool. Clune Arena. Again, I'm just going to give you a quick tour. It's about a minute long, but here's where Boise State's playing tonight. Greetings from the Air Force Academy. We are in Cadet Fieldhouse, one of the coolest venues for my money in all of sports. You see the hockey rink right here. Right over in there, you see the track and field and the indoor facility. We're going to take you right over the top of these stands and right on into Clune Arena. Same building for hockey, same building for basketball. They even share the press box up there. And if you go on through, again, straight out the door, same building. There's the track and field.
But can they not fill it past
Back over to hockey. Cadet Fieldhouse, one of the coolest in all of college athletics. Big one tonight for Boise State. There you go. We're back in business. I think I fixed the camera, so I should have just stood up and let it fly. That would have been an all-time Bronco Nation news moment to shoot one over here from out of bounds after receiving the ball back. I should have just one-handed it and let it fly, but at least it didn't hit me in the face, and at least even though it hit the camera, it didn't completely break it or knock it over. So I guess those are 2 wins here. I want to hear from Leon Rice. Kareem says, actually so cool, visited the campus 2 years ago, wasn't able to check out the arenas. Yeah, 3 different arenas all under one roof. I think it's just super cool, and it's you really get a lot of patriotism and just a lot of respect for the cadets and what they go through on a daily basis when you come here to the Air Force Academy. Let's thank a couple of our quick sponsors real quick, then we'll hear from Leon Rice while we're waiting for the Broncos to come back on the court. LithiaFordBoise.com. LithiaFordBoise.com. View the full inventory of vehicles. They got NIL deals with 5 student athletes at Boise State, 3 of them on the football team. Do what the Raines family did. You go find a couple online that you like. You go in there and ready to go, and you test drive them, and you're on your way. Again, full inventory of vehicles. Thank you to our friends at Lithia Ford of Boise, and that inventory is available at LithiaFordBoise.com. How about Taco Bell? You get free food, and they give you half your pay right after your shift if you get a job with Taco Bell, and they are hiring at the freestanding Treasure Valley Taco Bell stores. TacoBellWorks.com, SON Management, the Nicolason family. They donate hundreds of thousands of dollars to student-athlete scholarships at Boise State, and they are hiring. So check them out. Get more information at TacoBellWorks.com. The Blue and Orange Store, you need some new Boise State gear? The BlueandOrangeStore.com. If you're not in the Boise area, they'll give you free shipping on any order over $40 online. But if you're in the Boise area, just go to the Boise Town Square Mall, the 2nd floor, right there next to Pro Image. Shirts, jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, cup holders, mugs, you name it. They got it at the Blue and Orange Store. Check them out, the BlueandOrangeStore.com. And I mentioned if you're looking for a job, well, how about the trucking industry? It's booming right now, and they are hiring. And the folks at Transportation Compliance Service, Jeff Minert and Company, they can help you out. It's a national company based here in the Treasure Valley. All the permits, overweight DOT permits, everything you need to get out there towing that first load. Let the professionals handle it. More than 75% of people go out of business to try to do it themselves. So check them out at transcompservice.com, and they'd be happy to help assist you. Bronco Brew Coffee as well. Check them out. BroncoBrew.coffee. BroncoBrew.coffee. Helping Boise State in the NIL game with every sip. A couple dollars from every bag goes straight to the student athlete of your choice. Check them out at BroncoBrew.coffee. Back here live on the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame. Show you the crowd starting to file in. The announced attendance was about 1,000 for the UNLV game. It was a 9 o'clock game last week. We'll see what it is moving forward here for this one, but not expecting anywhere close to that. We do have the cadet band, the Air Force band over here. That's going to be fun to see them, and we'll have to figure out what kind of crowd it is here at Clune Arena. But while we're waiting for the Broncos to come back, I had a chance to talk to Leon Rice. You'll see the lack of oxygen sign behind him. Here's our exclusive interview with Leon Rice, and then when the Broncos come back on the floor, we'll continue to show you live warm-ups here. Clune Arena at the Air Force Academy, a big one for Boise State. Our title sponsor, of course, rowpaint.com. roepaint.com. Check them out for all your painting needs. We're in the Cutwater Studios. More than 35 flavors, pre-mixed premium cocktails. You can pick one up at your local gas station or grocery store. And, of course, Lithia Ford of Boise. This is the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show. As I said, you can view their full inventory at lithiafordboise.com. We may even talk a little dirt cutter as well. But first, let's hear from Leon Rice here on the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show exclusively on Bronco Nation News.
Coach, you obviously have a couple days here, a little unique staying on the road here. How have you just kind of liked the approach and how you guys are getting ready for tomorrow?
Yeah, it's been, these guys are so great and they're fun to be around and they like being around each other. So I think, if you had to do this over and over again, it wears you out. But for us to, have these, we know what's going on. We know the season's winding down and so we appreciate every second we get together. And sure, it'd be nice to be home in your own beds, but there's a value to being able to hang out together and get some team bonding stuff that we like. And, you're still trying to grow as a team. We're still trying to get better. And these guys approach every day like that.
You're standing in front of the sign here, and I found out firsthand about muscle cramps and stuff at this altitude. I know your formula's secret, but just what is it, staying out here and just what you guys are doing this process to make sure that you guys are ready to go at 7 o'clock tomorrow?
Yeah, and we have a whole process of what we do on the road, and that's consistent. That doesn't change. And one of the most important things is taking care of your body, and that, when you're athletes, and even if you're not at this altitude, you have to hydrate. Hydration is number one, and so our guys are understanding that and doing a great job with it, and they take it really seriously, and this is exactly the reason why you just confront it. It's not a big deal. But if you let your mind trick you into thinking it's a big, huge deal, yeah, there's reality to it. If you just, if you didn't take care of your body, if you didn't understand what's going on, that your body's going to send you signals that you're tired. Well, it does every game. So you got to fight through that, and our guys understand that.
Staying here, though, in 2 in a row, does that make it any easier or different or harder? Or have you studied on the effects of that? Or
Yeah, we have some data on that stuff.
After the game tomorrow, you'll...
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt. But, yeah, there's, staying out on the road always, I've had one coach said that one time, and it kind of stuck in my head, that your team gets 10% worse every day you're out on the road, and I hope that's not the case, and I haven't seen that with our guys, but the season is a grind, and we had a really good February practice on the road, and that's hard to do. But again, I always take it back to my guys, their character, how important this team is to them, and they're taking every moment in. And so, we got done what we need to get done today.
I'm writing something on Roddy, and I talked to Tim about him and stuff, and he just said that, it's not always about scoring for him, but he is starting to score a little more, but that's not really what you need him to do. And he said, early on it was kind of like trying to put a square peg into a round hole with his game and fitting with what you guys wanted. He said maybe the last 2 games were the best he's been all season in terms of decision making, stuff like that. What when he's right, like he has been, what's he doing to help you guys?
Well, he can get the ball wherever he wants to get the ball. And it's just what he does with it when he gets it there, and how but the key to becoming a great player is how coachable you want to be. And when you get guys, they you build a trust in them, but it takes time, and some guys develop it quickly, some guys like Abu's a great example of that. When he first got here, it took him some time to really trust us, and by the end, man, he was just soaking all the coaching up and was so excited to be coached, and that's why you saw him take off. You can't get good, or you can't get better if you're not wanting to be coached. And I think Roddy's hit that, where he really enjoys being coached, and he understands that it's really, really helping him. And he's that close. He's really getting there. He had a really good game against Wyoming, and he's that close to having a great game. A couple turnovers here or there, and then he wants to see those on film, see what he could do differently, and that's how you grow as a player, and that's what he's doing.
I mean, his last 3 games at UC San Diego, he had over 20 points every game.
Yeah.
He had a 3-game stretch for you guys where he didn't score 3 games in a row. I mean, he talked about just winning and being a part of this culture and making the winning plays and stuff. I mean, have you noticed from that aspect him adjusting to some of that?
No doubt, and he's understanding the game, and he came here because he wants to become a point guard, not just. I mean, there's a million guys that are 6'1" and athletic and that can score. And what can separate him down the road is becoming an elite point guard, and that's we're not trying to take the scoring out of him at all. that's going to come, and that's going to become easy for him as he becomes a better and better point guard. But you take a great athlete like Roddy and you teach him how to play like a 30-year-old, and then you got something.
Final two quick things on Air Force. What the first game when you guys played him, what did you guys do well that you'd like to see do again, tomorrow?
Well, that was a weird game because it was 27-25. They were ahead of us, and they were clicking, and we just kept hanging in there. When we really guarded, maybe in that 25 other minutes, maybe the best we guarded, and then we moved the ball well. We did good things offensively. Maybe it was our most efficient offensive game too. So we really put both sides together in the last 25 minutes. But this is a team that they get better and better and better as the year goes on because they got a bunch of disciplined kids. That's why they're in the academy, and they just keep getting better. And you saw that with their road win at New Mexico, and they're feeling good about things right now.
That's what I was going to say. We talked about it on the post-game show, but just they're coming in off a huge win. What did you see them do in that game, and what do you expect in the game tomorrow night?
Well, you see them do, the thing about Air Force is they're pretty darn consistent. And, like I said to you earlier, if you relax a possession, they're scoring on you. They just run their stuff so disciplined and so tough, and their cuts are so hard, they're getting a lay-in. There's no time to rest, no time to relax. There's, if you lose concentration for a second, they're scoring on you. So they're pretty consistent in what they do. You have to come with great energy and effort, in an atmosphere that's different than what you played in, and the altitude, and dealing with those kind of things, and being on the road, all those stuff. You have to be able to have the toughness to have the concentration for 35 seconds and then finish it with a rebound. And that's why I say 35, because if you don't finish it with a rebound, now they're running it again for 20 more. So it takes a lot of discipline to be able to do that.
There he is, Leon Rice. I'm going to see if I can turn this other camera down there and show you the Air Force cadet band down there playing some songs here, getting the crowd fired up. You see our view on press row here. We're at about the 3-point line for Boise State. And you heard what Leon Rice said there at the end of that. 35 seconds, you got to play a defense because oops, let's switch this here. Sorry about that. 35 seconds of defense is what it's going to take because they're going to take it all the way down on the shot clock, and then you got to be able to get the rebound. So rebounding is going to be key tonight, not giving up second chance points. Again, I'm sure you guys are well aware of the Air Force Princeton style of offense, but it's a lot of cutting, a lot of back cutting, so a lot of backdoor cuts. And Boise State did a great job the first time they played of really not giving up too many back cuts and being ready for that. I think they only gave one the whole game, as I said earlier, and it got blocked by who was it? Oh, it was Omar Stanley that blocked the one they had. So obviously a lot you got to get to tonight. And by the way, an all-star officiating crew. It really is when you have the great Randy McCall. I know you guys love Randy McCall. He's one of the officials tonight. And the other guy walking by right here is Bill Vinovich. He refereed the Super Bowl. So this referee right here that's turning around was the lead referee literally in the Super Bowl about 2.5, 3 weeks ago. And now he is reffing college basketball here at Clune Arena. Again, Bill Vinovich. So you also have Randy McCall. And then our third ref in this one is, looks like it is Eric Curry, the Bill Clinton ref. So Randy McCall, Bill Clinton, and Bill Vinovich are your officials today. And looks like Bill Vinovich might have some family here, either his kid or he's got a little kid coming down to say hello to him. So that's pretty cool. But again, Boise State, Air Force, the Broncos trying to stay in first place in the Mountain West. A tie with Utah State before those 3 big home games, or 2 big home games, but 3 big games coming up to end the regular season. So about 20 minutes from tip-off here. We can keep this going for a couple more minutes. We got to be off with 15 minutes left. Those are the Mountain West rules. So we got about 5 minutes left here. But I do want to remind folks about our pool party coming up. If you're going on to Vegas for the conference tournament, join us 2 weeks from Friday. Circa Resort and Casino Stadium Swim. It's a $50 cover charge. We're getting you in for free if you email me, rains@bronconationnews.com. We got a private pool, private cabanas, food and drink. It's going to be a ton of fun, and it's free. Rains at Bronco Nation News. Send me an email. We'll get you on the VIP entry list. Speaking of saving you a spot, Timberstone Golf Course, our golf tournament coming up May 31st. Check it out, Timberstone Golf Course on May 31st. We are taking advanced reservations for folks that played last year, or if you want to get a whole sponsorship, that's another way to guarantee yourself a foursome. We're taking those by emailing me, Rains at BroncoNationNews.com. The regular entry will be in a couple of weeks, but some of your favorite players and coaches will be out there, some free swag, lunch. It's going to be a lot of fun. May 31st, save the date for the BNN golf tournament. Boise State again going with the black uniforms tonight. We'll see what kind of crowd files in. They got the music blasting pretty loud, so there's at least going to be a little bit of a atmosphere here at Clune Arena. And again, Air Force 2 and 12 in the Mountain West, but they're coming off a big win at the pit, so you know they're going to be fired up. And Boise State has just had such an impressive run here of late. These 3 games all winning by at least 20 points. Super, super impressive. And one more to go, though. If you win this one, you mission accomplished. 4-0 during this stretch. That's what you had to do, and you only got one left to get it done. So one more for Boise State to finish this thing off, and then you come home for a couple of huge games at home against New Mexico, which, by the way, very few tickets left for New Mexico. The game is almost sold out already, I saw. So if you're wanting to go, there's literally like single tickets left for that New Mexico game. The Clune Arena capacity, I think it's spelled with a C, is probably like 6,000-7,000 maybe. It's actually a nice little arena. If it was packed, it'd be an awesome venue. They just can't get anybody to come here. It's just a pretty far drive up onto the academy. If you live in Springs, it's a 40-minute drive, from like downtown Springs. So they just can't get a lot of people to be super interested in basketball. So you have to create your own energy. Going to be a fairly empty, quiet arena tonight for Boise State. Maybe tonight's the night. Tonight's the night Max Rice goes for 20-plus points, and we try to get him on the post-game show. Maybe tonight's the night to end this 4-game stretch. We try to get they're not folded. Those are bleachers. The upper-level seats are bleachers, and then they have lower seats on the lower level. So those are just regular old bleachers up there on the top. And the lower level is the regular seats right there. So that's why you're seeing that. 11.5. Logan Byler says the spread is. The Ken Palm number is also 11. So if you're Boise State, you want to just win. Tonight it's just win, baby. But if the metrics are already in a pretty good spot. You just want to win tonight. But obviously if you can win this game by double digits and finish off this 4-game stretch with 4 dominant victories, that would certainly be nice. You take the 38-point win you had against them last time, but I certainly wouldn't expect that to happen. Max Rice has looked pretty dialed in warmups, by the way. Every time I look up, I see Max Rice making a shot. So hopefully that's a sign of things to come for the Broncos here. Once again, going with the black uniforms on the road here. Not going to wear the blue when they're playing Air Force, who also has a lot of blue on there. So going with the new black uniforms again. They've had pretty good success with that. And I know our foam range is a big fan of Randy McCall. He said this morning, hope it wasn't Randy, and I didn't want to let the cat out of the bag. But, yes, Randy McCall is the lead official tonight. They give you this nice little paper, and it puts the refs' faces on there. So there's there you can see it's Randy McCall, Eric Curry, and Bill Vinovich are your 3 referees today. Randy McCall, the Bill Clinton ref, Eric Curry, and Bill Vinovich. And again, Bill Vinovich is the official that refereed the Super Bowl about 2 weeks ago. So he does multiple sports, and that's actually pretty cool. So Birdo's not even working up a sweat. This guy's out here and working as hard as he can, and Birdo doesn't even sweat. The dude is something else. By the way, it was pretty cool at the team hotel yesterday. I was going down to get something to eat, and I saw Birdo talking to Abe Jackson, and they were teammates for a year, and I just kind of thought about it. It's pretty cool. Those guys are both back with the program now, and old teammates and friends working together, and that's pretty cool to see Abe and Bob there, or Abe and Birdo, what they've been able to do there. You see at mid-court, we got Max Rice getting rolled out, but our referees are going through the I used that calf roller, by the way. They were nice enough to let me borrow it after my calf got destroyed on that workout there in Laramie. But pre-game's captain meeting going on with our officials. Eric Curry. Randy McCall actually lives in the Denver area, so probably just drives down, covers the game, gets a couple grand, and goes back and sleeps in his own bed tonight. So not a bad deal for Randy McCall. But you see the crowd starting to file in. Again, Bronco Nation News, the only local media outlet other than Bob and Abe on the radio side that made the trip down here. We were all over the Dirt Cutter News this morning as well. So the news never stops, and Bronco Nation News has been there every step of the way, and we'll continue to be at every basketball game the rest of the season. We've been at every game so far, so not going to stop that now. So looking forward to the game tonight. Looking forward to seeing Boise State continue try and keep this winning streak alive. Going for 4 in a row, going for another nice win to improve the metrics, and then obviously have the big couple of home games coming up, starting with New Mexico on Saturdays. There you go. Kareem the Dream just called it. Same foam roller that I used yesterday at practice. Max is using it. He's going for 40 tonight. You just heard it here from the Kareem the Dream. Sam, doing an amazing job. Appreciate that. Derek, I don't know if you missed the beginning of the show or not, but you got a shout out from our man Joel York that's here as well. So we were able to get him on, and he is front row 1, right behind the bench. Good luck. You're going to be seeing a lot of Joel York. I don't know if you guys remember or not, but this was the game a couple years ago that my wife came to the game and happened to be sitting next to Robin Rice, and the entire game they showed Robin Rice and my wife behind the bench because Boise State was like up 30, and Doug Gottlieb was infatuated. It was like the first road game Robin Rice had ever come to or something in conference play. So they were on the screen pretty much the entire game. So I do remember that, and there was a huge snowstorm that day as well. So not very many Boise State fans again. I do see Mr. Keene over there. I see some of the Keene family. I see some other folks here, but not a huge crowd behind. So you'll probably see more Boise State fans behind the bench for this one as well. Appreciate you guys. We're going to jump off here. It's almost time for tip-off. There's some Mountain West rules that preclude us from going much further. We'll be live about 5 minutes after the game. Go ahead. The team is chartering home tonight. They're going to be in a hurry to get out of here. So the post-game show is going to start pronto right when the game ends. So watch the game on the Mountain West Network. Flip over to YouTube. And nowhere else will you get live video interviews with Leon Rice and players right after the game here on Bronco Nation News, Lithia 4 to Boise. Also the sponsor of our post-game show, again, about 5 minutes after the game, YouTube, Facebook, and X. And by the way, like this video down here in the corner. Subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. And tell your friends because we could use the support here as we continue to try to build Bronco Nation News. A lot of excitement with the Dirk Cutter hiring. Fun day. Dirk Cutter's back. That'll hopefully be announced and be official tomorrow. BNN was the first to break that news for you this morning. And that's going to be make spring ball even more exciting here moving forward. So, by the way, I'm just going to let you guys know now. My flight is tomorrow morning at 9. The tentative plan is for John Mallory and I to have a show at noon tomorrow. So a little lunchtime BNN Live tomorrow. So I'll tell you again on the post-game show, but just to let you know now, my flight leaves Denver at 9. I'll be hurrying it back, and then we'll try to be on around noon with John Mallory and I for a Wednesday edition of Bronco Nation News Live. So go subscribe if you can. Appreciate it. Anybody that subscribes during the game, I'll throw you a $20 gift card to Taco Bell. How about that? If you subscribe in the next 2 hours before the game ends, we'll throw you a $20 gift card to Taco Bell. It's only $50 to jump in if you use the BNN 50 deal, so it's essentially costing you $30. How about that deal? I'm in a good mood. Why not? Free $20 gift card to Taco Bell if you sign up before the game ends. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy the game. I didn't get a chance to get to your score predictions. Gerald, thank you for the nice comment there. Teams heading to the locker room one more time. We're getting ready for tip-off here. And your score predictions are in. We'll still take them even if we didn't get it on the screen. We'll still take your score predictions, and we will give whoever had the closest score prediction a gift card. So appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Go subscribe if you can. We're about 10 minutes away from tip-off. Mountain West Network has the stream, and then again, as soon as the game's over, you can head on back to Bronco Nation News here on YouTube, Facebook, and X. We prefer YouTube, but Facebook and X are okay as well. And we'll see you about 5 minutes after the game with the post-game show. So a lot to talk about. We went 49 minutes on the pregame show, so appreciate all you guys for checking us out. Thank you, Ben, for the comments. The game's coming in about 10 minutes. Go get a Cutwater. Heck, go get a couple of Cutwaters. Celebrate Dirk Cutter. Celebrate this potential 4-game winning streak, settle in for what should be a fun game. And we'll talk to you on the post-game show like literally a minute or two after the game ends. Be ready on YouTube. Boise State, Air Force, big one for the Broncos as they look to stay in first place in the Mountain West. And as always, we've had you covered. Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com. We'll see you on the post-game show. Bronco Nation News, a presentation of rowpaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics and our title sponsor. Check them out, roepaint.com, for all your painting needs. We're in the Cutwater Studios. More than 35 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails. You can pick one up at your local gas station or grocery store. And, of course, LithiaFordBoise.com was texting with Jim Sturk today. Big supporters of Boise State, big supporters of Bronco Nation News. Make Lithia Ford of Boise the choice for your next vehicle, and you get more information at LithiaFordBoise.com. Enjoy the game, folks. We'll talk to you afterwards on the postgame show from Clune Arena. My name is BJ Rains, and this is Bronco Nation News Live, BroncoNationNews.com.